love the fact Canada can't get enough of this guy. This guy brought me back on how big P.I.M.P. was, man. It brings me back to the day I sent you that track, and I told 50 Snoop is gonna freestyle on this record, and then all of a sudden the freestyle became like a timeless classic. What do you think about that?
50 had a gift about himself as far as like recognizing a great record. He had that ear to know a hit record. So when you sent me that record, it was already a hit. It was just a matter of me getting on it and putting some real pimping on it, and then adding all of the real pimps to the video, bringing in, you know, all of my real associates and affiliates that was really about that movement, because at that time I was really, you know, 10 toes down on a bitch. So it was believable and it was real. So it was like, it was really what it was. That was around the time I think I went to the MTV Award, and I had, I had 2 of them on a leash, man. Yeah, man, that was back then. That was then, this is now. But P.I.M.P. was one of those records that you knew would stand the test of time, because the production was, it sounded like it was like damn near Latin. Like it was Latin, but then it was hip hop, and it had a hell of a sonic sound to it with the percussions and shit. And then the hook was so dope. It was easy for me to follow. Thank you, 50, for putting me in. And that nigga paid me a whole lot of money to be on a remix. Normally on mixtapes, you know, you just do what the motherfucker be like, you owe me. My nigga paid me. That's crazy. Real nigga number 1, 5-0.
Yo, we all we got, kicking ass out here. And I see the tour is smooth as fuck. It's like family in there. You got DJ Quick, you got Lady of Rage. I was looking at some 1994 show in Trafalgar Square where it was Dog Pound and Lady of Rage was there. R.I.P. Nate Dogg. He's the only one missing from that situation right there. But how was it back then in New York where the Dog Pound you was performing? And you also did the tunnel, by the way, too, which was another situation. I think Daz talked about it, where y'all left him in there, and he had to fend for himself. But, you know, the tunnel was kind of dangerous in New York. But Trafalgar Square, bring me back to that moment.
Ironically, that's the first time I ever seen DMX, and he brought that up at the Versus. But back then, you got to understand, New York has always been the mecca of rap to us. So we would always want to do our best in front of a New York audience, in front of a New York MC. Most of our favorites and our greats and our icons come from New York. So this was a chance for us to actually put our footprint down and to perform with a lot of those greats in the building. A lot of them was there. So it was like it was a coming of age for us, because we had always idolized all of these great New York rappers. Now they came to see us at a sold-out show at Trafalgar Square. And it was, you know, it was timeless, because it's something you can't take away. It's something that we did and people enjoyed it. And them records that we made, they affected the East Coast, because we made them for people that were into hip-hop.
Who the hardest, man? Like, I got so many different orders here. Can you tell me exactly how it started?
Premier sent me the beat. He sent me a couple of beats, because we was on the last, I had basically had the Dog Pound album all the way, you know, sequence, but it was like, damn, we missing something. So I'm like, Premier, send me something. And we had just did that song that me and Daz had did with him. Can you dig that? So it just made sense for him to send us some music. And he sent me about 3 or 4, but that one he sent was like, that's the one. So when I got it, I'm like, let me lay the intro down, because I know if I do the intro, it's going to spark some shit, and it's going to make everybody want to rap their best. So doing the intro, boom, I popped the intro. He called RBX over. He went down the hall into the Starship. He wrote his shit. Rage is in her house at Virginia. Daz and Corrupt, they come through. Corrupt busts his shit first. He write his shit and bust it. His shit is Pteranodon, all
Tyrannosaurus Rex, complex, the octagon.
This nigga was going in. Back to them long ass words again that I don't know what the fuck he's saying, but I know he know what he's saying. Back to that again. Boom. He bust, RBX bust, Rage, the last one to go. And when she go, she bust, and we leave her verse first. You know what I'm saying? Because we know she gonna go hard. But when she do it, naturally, she don't like the shit. She don't like nothing she do. So she like, I need to go in and do my vocals over. I'm like, fuck that, Premier. We putting that shit out just like that. We ain't letting her do them over. And then she went in and did them over. And then when she did them over, I heard all of the body and the energy and the attitude and the shit that you hear on the song now that was missing. So it's like, I can't stop her from being her. You know, that's what she do. She know her shit better than anybody. It got to have all of that.
Right here, right motherfucking now. Don't be a fool mule. I bring this mule to your field and make it plow.
Bow, boom, boom, all that Batman shit that she do that matches her stigma. So I allowed her to go back in and do it. And when she did it, naturally we left her at the first verse, and then Corrupt second, scratching, RBX, bring Daz in on the back end. Let me close it down, and we back home again.
Who is the hardest on that record? Who the hardest?
It's definitely not me. But I don't mind, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, let me say this. I wasn't trying to be the hardest. Remember, I asked the question. See, you got to understand, it's all about bringing the best out of your players. Sometimes I love to be the coach, but I can still play. But it's better for me to be the coach to bring the best out of them. So that way my team can get back on their shit again. Now they back to, you know, firing off that high-powered rap shit that they known for. And now everybody paying attention again, you know, because bars is back in the equation. So it's all perfect timing.
Snuck in some gin and juice in Canada. I had to, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did it start, man? Was it Jimmy Iovine? Was it Dr. Dre? How did it start?
Me fucked up. Nigga, with so much drama in the LBC, it's kind of hard being who? You don't say it's kind of hard being Jimmy Iovine or Dr. Dre. It's kind of hard being Snoop Dogg Double G. But I, somehow, some way, keep coming up with funky ass shit like every single day. Here's what it is, let me tell you. Jimmy and Dre are great businessmen, right? And they built a great dynasty together, and I've been a part of that to a certain extent. So as we blossom into our later years in our careers, we start to see what we're great at. And they notice what I'm great at and what they're great at, so we decided to collaborate and do some shit that's great together. And that's Gin and Juice. That's a brand that we built 30-some years ago with a record, and it don't seem to die, so it only made sense to have some product to support that. It tastes good, feel good, and it look good.
I see Kevin Hart, man. That was amazing. You hosted the Olympics with him, or that was real, right? And now you're going back out with Jimmy Fallon. What is going to happen in Paris, man?
Thanks, Kevin Hart, for putting me on the highlight special, which created a situation now to where I'm actually going to be hosting the Olympics. Hello, real thing, with Mike Tirico, NBC, Peacock. Hello, the real deal. Showing up and showing out with them suits on, them jackets and shit. You know the way the broadcasters look, who kid, you know what I'm saying? But it's still going to be me. It's just going to be me inside of one of them suits and them jackets, you know, bringing it to you the way we do. And I'm looking forward to it because I love the Olympics. I love the competition. I was watching today the track and field. They had the little trials and shit. Then they got the ones next week in Eugene, Oregon. So I'm a big fan of it. I look forward to going over there to, like, really put my input into the sports and, you know, being a fan at the same time.
Luka Doncic, did you think you had beef that day when he was yelling at?
I was there sitting with my boy Jimmy Jam, you know what I'm saying? OG, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, you know what I'm saying? Producer extraordinaire from Minnesota. So it was, I was in town. I had a show the next night. I'm a basketball fan. I never seen Luka play live. I wanted to see him get down. Kyrie is a friend of mine. Just wanted to see some good basketball. And Anthony Edwards is a bad motherfucker. My wife, this is the crazy part. This is what my wife said. I was going for Edwards. I was pulling for him. I'm like, boy, you was watching basketball? She's just like, she liked the way he get out, you know what I'm saying? So we just like basketball. So I was there on a friend pass to enjoy some basketball the day before to get out. And Luka wasn't talking. To me, it was somebody that was talking shit to him the whole. Every minute I was there, he was like, Luka, you cried, baby, you cried. And then when Luka took the lead, he said, who crying now, motherfucker?
And look, he's having words with Snoop right now. Snoop appreciating the work being put in.
I was like, this nigga's a dog. He get down. I like his get down because he meets the press, you know what I'm saying? So I became a fan of Luka that night, you know what I'm saying? But right now they down 0-2, but it's a long series. You never know.
Eminem is back, man. The old Eminem, Houdini.
Well, for the first time, remember, we was all young, so everybody was different mind state. We didn't have kids. We didn't have responsibility. So, you know, it was a lot of shit that we did back then that we probably don't do now. So it's a difference between, you know, seeing somebody back then for the first time and then hearing somebody again go back to that. The spirit that he had, you know, the young white boy that just didn't give a fuck, that hung out with some niggas but spoke his truth. That shit was different. It was real. It was raw, it was authentic, and that's the shit that attracted Dre and, you know, the whole team to fuck with him, and it created a whole atmosphere to what years later he could still do it. Houdini, you know, what do Houdini do? The nigga disappear and come back.
Oh, shit.
Ain't that what he do? He's a magician. Nigga, you didn't even know that. Who you thought Houdini was, a nigga that made airplanes? Abracadabra, abracadabra. I'm gonna reach out and grab it. That shit bang. Shout out to Slim Shady. Welcome back to the block, dog. Bring some more of that real hip hop back. You know what I'm talking about? Detroit. Hey, Mom Spaghetti got some bomb ass food too, cuz I can't even front. Send me some of that garlic bread. Well, goddamn. We at the last record, and it only made sense for me to go to the East Coast and get at my nigga DJ Premier. Right here, right here. Yeah. You understand me? DPGC. Full effect. Full effect. Nah, we in full motion. Shout out to all of the real players out there. See, but this one thing I've really been wanting to know for a long time. Like, who is really the hardest motherfucker in the DPGC? I really want to know who the hardest motherfucker in the DPGC is right here, right motherfucking now.
Right here, right motherfucking now. Don't be a fool, I bring this mule to your feel and make it plow. I wear that crown, bow down, don't go provoking her. Check how I get down, you don't know nobody dope as her. Look what the Gale blew in, no need for opera. Apocalypse now, Francine, Ford Coppola. And now we'll rap decagons around you Decepticons. You could wish on a leprechaun, can't F with my lexicon. My wordplay is bird of prey, your whole song is just a swan. You went straight to your felon and late with the megalodon. So please deliver us from this carnivorous cheapie from Virginia's wilderness, killing us with a syllabus, vile and villainous. The hard hitter, you might not make it past the waiting. Conviction in my bars like I wrote this verse with a steak pen. I kills it every time, toe tag it and bury it. What's a turtle to a chariot, powered by secretariat? Corrupt ass Snoop RBX marks the target. I'm a DPG demigoddess, I'm the hardest. The hardest, regardless, fool. Raise the mic brawler.
Big boss dog about to kick off shit. Gun clapping while y'all yapping, I don't trip off shit. I did my shit, gave y'all more flavor to flip. Showed y'all niggas how to mix a bag of chips with that dip. I'm leading the ship, y'all talking while I'm pleading fifth. Bio picking with this crip and I'm rewriting the script. D-Go double, you in trouble, about to bubble and simmer. Cock and K-dotting cause I'm humbling niggas. Orchestrated and dedicated, now that we situated. I see you anticipated, family we celebrated. Together forever, DPG it will never end. Party at the doghouse, nigga, so settle in. Drinks on me, and smoke too. And I can give a motherfuck who you spoke to. Stop with all the pandemonium. See, now the homies is on you.
Hey yo, this Daz Dillinger, in case you forgot, this Dog Pound for life.